Hi everybody, it's Steph from Stellium Astrology, and I just wanted to record a little message today just to celebrate the fact that Mercury's turning direct, to also celebrate the fact that we've had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and we are currently experiencing, we're still very much under the influence of that at the moment. It's still very much in conjunction, even though Jupiter has passed the same degree or the same minute as Uranus, and we've had eclipse season this month, and it's been really, really eventful for a lot of people. And for some people it's been physical events, stuff that's actually physically manifesting, and for others it's about internalized shifts and big changes. So I think that it's been an interesting time, especially today, as Mercury turns direct, because we are almost collecting ourselves now and processing everything and then making a decision about where we want to move forward. And Mercury is stationing. So it's like when we say Mercury's direct, it's stationing direct, which means it's almost sort of ground to a halt and it's not moving anywhere at the moment. It's just kind of still. So when it's stationed, there's almost like an intensified element about Mercury. It kind of sits still at that degree, and all the while it's doing that, the thought process is almost there with it. It's almost like a kind of a point of concentration for us to really collect our ideas, bring them together, have a look at everything that has occurred or that may have come up, think about what it is that felt good or we liked or provides us with the best possible pathway when we decide to start moving forwards. And then when Mercury starts to make his first moves forward and then start gaining momentum again and then get back to his usual speed, this is a point where we get to start that kind of motion with him. So particularly for mercurial people, so Virgo rising, Gemini rising people, or Geminis and Virgos in general, whether that's suns or moons, or stelliums, anybody with stelliums in those signs, I think you'll find that there has been a lot of emphasis for you over these past 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks really, about where we need to slow down, where we need to reassess, where we need to stop casting our net so wide. And the whole analogy with a Gemini, or with that mercurial nature of like many fingers in many pies, it may be a case that you need to kind of be a bit more discerning and a bit more focused, because we are at a point where Mars is just about to dip into Pisces as well. So the scatteredness, the mutability of Mercury retrograde, and by that I mean, that Mercury rules 2 mutable signs, Virgo and Gemini. So that is where I get that sense of mutability. He's actually in a cardinal sign. So we're coming up with lots of new ideas, I think, lots of new ways of seeing how we can progress. But actually, with Mars in Pisces in the final degrees, he's just about to dip into, or come out of the swimming pool and into the sauna. It probably will feel a bit like a sauna, probably like being in the hottest sauna ever at the moment, Mars in Pisces. But when he goes into Aries, it will be like he's come out of the sauna, he's really hot and he's drying off and he's ready to go out and face his day. You can probably tell that I'm missing my sauna at my gym. I haven't been for a while. I've really missed those mornings going to the sauna. That was great. So yeah, there's something very, very transitional about this period, about this month actually. And there are people everybody's at a different point in their life. You might be around your Saturn return right now. You could be going through your Pluto square. You could be going through your Neptune square. I know there are a few of us out there that are experiencing these midlife crisis transits, I'll call them. And then there are others who are approaching or in the throes of their second Saturn return. I know somebody who's currently going through that and is not having a great time with it, not because she's sharing it with everybody. Well, she's inadvertently sharing it with everybody because she's got Mars at 29 Virgo, which is basically being squared by Neptune as well right now, and her anger, her frustration is permeating everything. It's so diffused, everybody can feel how frustrated she is. It's very interesting to understand and witness this. So everybody's at different stages in their development, in their life journey, and these transitional periods can mean different things to different people. But what I think the overarching essence of this period is, of these transits, are, particularly for this month of April, with the eclipses, with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and with Mercury retrograde in Aries, it's about realigning with a fresh perspective of what's possible for the future. If it means that you build on the foundations you've already established, or whether it means coming up with something completely new and different, this is the time to really start thinking about where it is you want to be. And I just so happen to have somebody on the end of my phone who is always helpful when I am in need. And I messaged today, it is Frank Clifford of the London School of Astrology, and I just said to him, you know, it just feels, everything feels a bit not up in the air, slightly different to that. Everything, I think there's just a sense of lostness, and everybody I speak to feels like they're going through something. There's some kind of crisis, some kind of processing of trauma. There's just a difficulty, and it can be that this period could be about recognising how much you're putting yourself second as opposed to first, and what can we do to reclaim ourselves in some way. And actually, this is the time. This is the time to recognise, what have I done? Why am I doing this? Why have I put myself on the back burner? Why did I say I'd do that thing for that person when they would never bother doing the same thing for me too? You know, it's about identifying your kind of, what's the word? Compromising nature. Especially because the South Node right now is in Libra, so that it might be very easy for you to just be like, yes, I'll help you, yes, I'll do this for you, but then you suddenly go, well, hang on, what about me? What about me? It's a difficult time. It's definitely a difficult time. And you know, Venus is a very influential planet right now as well, because she is the ruler of the South Node. She is also I'm just pulling up the chart now just so I can have a quick look at the current transits. So we have Venus currently sitting in Aries. We have Mercury sitting in Aries, who is technically direct, but still sitting quite still at the moment. So Mercury's at 15, and the North Node is at 15 as well. And Chiron is sandwiched exactly central, the midpoint of Venus and Mercury. So it could well be about, where are we suffering right now? What are we doing that's compromising ourselves? And actually, are we causing ourselves this unsettled nature, this are we, you know, like that kind of, you brought it on yourself, you're inflicting more pain on yourself than you are on anybody else if you're over compromising and you're just too willing to help others, but you are cutting your nose off to spite your face. You know, that might be a good one for Aries. I know Aries actually rules the eyebrows really, but yeah, there is a sense of, you know, whether we realise it or not, over-compromising to the point that we have sacrificed our own opportunities. So that's that. And Venus obviously is the dispositor, the ruler of Taurus and all that transit through her right now, which is the Sun, Uranus and Jupiter. Jupiter and Uranus both being at 22 degrees of Taurus. And it's also the ruler of the South Node. So Venus is quite important. Mercury obviously is important because he's just turning direct now, and you know, he's the kind of the chaos bringer of multiple times a year, and so well famed for it now. He's become a very overused term on social media and somebody who's very easy to blame. And as I record this, not as I publish, but as I record this, the midheaven and the ascendant are both in. So they're both Mercury ruled. So midheaven, Gemini, ascendant, Virgo. And actually Lilith is rising as well in Virgo. So maybe this clarity that we're receiving through Mercury's stationing direct is rechanneling a little bit of that naughty horse energy. Maybe we kind of locked ourselves down and kind of didn't think about ourselves and got a little bit too complicit, and now we're kind of waking up to that kind of oppositional, indignant attitude that Lilith can bring. And just to add a little extra context, we have got the moon currently in Scorpio, and also Saturn and Mars and Neptune in Pisces. So it's a bit of a mix. We've got Pisces, Aries and Taurus heavily populated all over one side of the charts. We've got a bit of mutability, we've got the cardinal energy, and we've also got the fixity. So you'd think, yeah, nice balance. We've got that fixed Scorpio moon bringing in that added dimension as well, that added fixity. But there's just that feeling of, I suppose there is an element of stuckness, but also an element of needing to have some kind of new, fresh start, a fresh perspective, maybe a fresh way of doing things, a fresh way of seeing things. But right now everything is, there's too much going on, too much to juggle. Mars is about to be in conjunction with Neptune. He is in the sauna. It's the steam room, actually, not the sauna. He's in the steam room. So yes, it's all a little bit everything feels a little bit diffuse at the moment. It's not so focused, but we're getting there. And I just wanted to tune in. I know some of you like my little waffly episodes, my little chatty ones. I just wanted to tune in and record a podcast for you guys. It's not something I'm able to do too frequently, but I'm trying. I'm getting there. I'm doing a lot myself. I am kind of embodying Mars in Pisces, and I'm studying hypnotherapy, and I'm trying to do the podcast, and I'm juggling so much on top of family life too. So I'm tuning in when I can, and I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes. I hope you haven't struggled too much with this Mercury retrograde, and that actually this period to follow is going to be a little bit more peaceful and calm. I would say when the moon enters Sagittarius, which will be in the next 24 hours, we're probably going to feel a little bit lighter. So with that said, take care guys, and I'll speak to you next time. Lots of love.